Is it slow this morning?
No, it's like it was yesterday. All right, you are live, sir. Let me put you back over to MBS, but otherwise, you're ready to rock and roll.
And we say good morning to you. We are live again at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen again for the second day, again on this Tuesday, August the 1st, brand new month, which means we're closer to the start of high school football, college football, the National Football League, Major League Baseball playoffs. The playoff run is intensifying. Preseason NFL football starts on Thursday. All kinds of things going on. So when you've turned the calendar, you go to August. It means as John Ward would say, and said it very, very well, it's football time in Tennessee, and so it's going to be an intense next couple of weeks getting ready for high school football, getting ready for college football, getting ready for the National Football League. So it's all good, and we're here again live at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen to tell you all about it again on this Tuesday, August the 1st, 2017. Tomorrow, go ahead and tell you, we're going to be live at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet. Then on Friday, we'll be ready to roll on a Food City Friday. We're going to be live at Hub Store in Eastman Road in Kingsport, rather. We'll be there broadcasting live again on Friday. That's the schedule for the rest of the week. Today we're going to be joined by Colin Brooks. Got that magazine coming out. Speaking of high school football, the NET, the Northeast Tennessee Pigskin magazine, coming out very, very soon. We'll talk about that. Drew Bedard joins us, the Senior Director of Brand Management at Bristol Motor Speedway. We are getting ever so close to getting up there behind the mic and doing the track announcing. Can't wait. It's going to be a blast. 2 weeks from tomorrow night will be the Camping World Truck Series UNOH 200 and the Bush's Beans 150. So, and again, we'll tell you again on the screen how you can get tickets right here on this show. And we continue to have a lot of folks get qualified and get signed up. We thank you for that. There is no purchase necessary. And again, we do not give, all we want is your first name, last name, obviously, the town that you are calling from, so we can keep track of that geographically, and an email address. Other than that, we don't sell off the list. Once the promotion's over, we shred them, shred the names, and we move on. So you don't have to worry about any security problems because I don't like that, so I'm not going to have to put you in that position either. So anyway, TomTaylorSports.com/contest, and that's where you go to qualify for the tickets. And also, we've got tickets for the Food City 300, the 25th anniversary of said race. Again, showcasing one more time the talents of Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the high banks of Bristol. The 2018 participation guidelines have been released. We'll tell you all about that coming up in a few minutes. Wanting to watch your favorite Cup driver on the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series is going to be even tougher. They are minimizing the numbers even more. How many times the Cup drivers can race in the Xfinity Series in 2018, as well as the Camping World Truck Series. They're squeezing the Cup drivers more and more, so the other drivers in their respective series, be it the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, can get more chances to win, and I get that. There will be still some presence of Cup drivers, but not as much as in the past. So I'll tell you all about that coming up. We'll also hear from Coach Joe Gibbs, the NASCAR owner, talking about the chase. 2 in and 2 are not. 2 of his drivers are in and 2 are not. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch are in. Matt Kenseth and Daniel Suarez are not. We'll talk to him about that. We'll also hear from Brad Keselowski, on his opinion, what makes Bristol Motor Speedway so special. It's a really cool clip, and so we'll hear from him coming up later in the show. Also, Casey Kane, they did something new last week. They qualified and raced on the same day at Pocono. A lot of the drivers liked it. They'll do it again this week as well in Watkins Glen. So the days of qualifying, then coming back and waiting a day or two, and then racing, they are experimenting, and so far so good. It has been well received, quite frankly, and so it's a chance for the NASCAR drivers again to qualify and run on the same day this week in the road course in Watkins Glen, where Denny Hamlin's the defending champ of the race. On the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, Joey Logano defends the crown from a year ago, and of course the trucks are off this week before everybody heads for a triple header of action in Brooklyn, Michigan next week. Also going to be joined, as we said, by Colin Brooks and Drew Bedard. Michael Smeltzer from the Johnson City Football Club going to join us, and also the guy that makes this place go. I have the utmost respect for Jeff Bedard, the founder and CEO. This guy is everywhere. He's traveling all the time. He is merchandising and marketing his product. That would be Blue Lizard right here. It's another Blue Lizard Sport Day, too. There it is. And again, if I could ever figure out how to do that, Blue Lizard Sport day. SPF 30 plus, again, the smart bottle technology. I got my finger covered up where, again, the cap turns blue and UV sunlight. Again, you see in the bottom of the box, water resistant for 80 minutes. That is awesome. And again, when we go swimming and go around the water, the only thing we use at the old homestead is Blue Lizard. Well, you're supposed to, Tom, because he's one of your sponsors. No. First off, if I didn't believe in the product, I wouldn't have him on the show. That's just how that works. I don't put something on this show unless I believe in it, and I believe in Blue Lizard. So there you go. And it's broad spectrum UVA, UVB, again, water resistant for 80 minutes. Actually, the FDA makes them say 80 minutes. Here at the plant in South Johnson City, where we are, they have done research where the Blue Lizard actually stays on for 240 minutes, which is roughly 4 hours before you have to reapply it. But the FDA says to level the playing field, I'll let Jeff tell you about that later on here in the show, but to level the playing field, we have to just say 80 minutes. But technically speaking, Blue Lizard has been tested and proven, so says Jeff Bedard, the founder and CEO, that it'll actually stay on before you have to reapply it for 240 minutes, which is 4 hours. So either way, you can't go wrong with Blue Lizard. I told you earlier in the summer, just for kicks, I got a redneck tan, so I took this arm and slathered it with Blue Lizard, and this arm I did not, and then went swimming, and when I got home that night, this one was pink, and this one was not, where I had Blue Lizard, so it works. And of course, they have four: the face, the sensitive, and the baby, and of course, sport. And this time of year, everybody around the water and swimming and at the beach and fishing and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, Blue Lizard is the way to go for sure. On the ball cap, you see the Blue Lizard logo. If you watch the PGA and you watch a guy by the name of pretty good golfer, Sergio Garcia, you will see the Blue Lizard on his apparel because Blue Lizard sponsors Sergio Garcia. Also, if you flip on TV and watch the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley, in behind home plate they have the revolving advertising electronic boards. You will see a Blue Lizard logo. They're the official sunscreen of the Chicago Cubs. If you flip on the game at Yankee Stadium and watch it, you'll see the same thing because Blue Lizard is the official sunscreen of Yankee Stadium of the New York Yankees. And Jeff told us we were here last month that they are now, starting next year, going to be the official sunscreen of the Boston Red Sox at Fenway. So pretty cool stuff. It's all again happening, and Jeff does a phenomenal job, he and the staff here, going out and marketing this product that is made right here in little old Johnson City, Tennessee, which is pretty cool. Goes all over the world. And I was up in West Virginia last week doing the show at Hardee's. Again, one of the stops, as I was leaving town, I stopped and saw, and there it was, a whole display of Blue Lizard there in West Virginia. So it's everywhere here locally in Food City and all the Walmart stores. I think he said they're going to be in Walgreens or CVS, and so they're everywhere. Blue Lizard made it right here in South Johnson City. We'll take our first break, come right back, and we'll take a look at Major League Baseball. Wow, it was busy last night. Final day of the trading deadline was yesterday. The Dodgers, man, they racked up. The best team in baseball, and they just got even better. Cubs did well. Yankees did really well. So the same olds, I guess, the ones with the biggest checkbooks, the old adage, the rich just get richer. And so the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Cubbies all benefited greatly from the trading deadline yesterday, July 31st. So now the stretch is on for the pennant races and for the wild card teams and the playoffs looming on the horizon. It's a ways off, but it's getting obviously ever so closer. Speaking of, if you're a fan of Christmas, 145 days till Christmas. How about that? First day of the month, again, we dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. The verse to get us started out of the book of Ephesians says, Ephesians 3, pretty, it's awesome. May you grasp, may you take hold, may you figure out, may you grasp how wide and long and how high and deep my love for you is, a love that surpasses knowledge. We can't even comprehend it. I can't. You can't. You cannot ask or imagine the things I'm planning for you. The love he has for us that surpasses knowledge, because he went up on that cross and willingly took, I did this not too long ago with the kids at church. I went around the room and said, guys, pick a year. 1948, 1972, 1863, 1714. They went around the room, gave me, off the wall, off the top of their head, rather, years. And I said, now think about this. He went up there and hung on the cross for everybody that ever lived that year and every year since we've been in existence, and everybody at 2017. Think of all the people on the planet just right now, August 1st, 2017, and he went up there and hung for us, took the sins of the world ever since day one of the world. It's incredible. Anyway, that's the verse of the day, Ephesians 3, 18 through 21. May start preaching and probably don't need to. Well, I can always, Kevin. It's like Mr. Kimball of Green Acres. Well, I'm not going to. Yes, I am going to. So probably won't. But you get the gist of it. May you grasp how wide and long and how high and deep my love for you is, a love that surpasses knowledge. Unbelievable. Here's the contest again, TomTaylorSports.com right here, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Again, winners will be announced a week from Friday on the 11th. We'll be at Food City in Piney Flats next Friday when we announce the multiple winners, more than one. And so get on the list and try and win tickets to Bristol. You can see the backdrop here on the screen. That is what we are anticipating to be a full house coming in here on Friday and Saturday in a couple of weeks. Wednesday will have the biggest truck crowd on the circuit for the year. Bristol always has the biggest truck crowd on Wednesday nights, generally speaking, of the whole year of the Camping World Truck Series. And, of course, there is a shot of the crowd here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 300 and also for the Bass Pro Shop NR8 night race. So there's how you do it, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And as of yesterday, Jeremiah, who does a phenomenal job with the social media with AppalachianDigital.com, West Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, New York State, Georgia, and Virginia. We have folks already from those states that have qualified and got their name in the bucket, try and win tickets, and you can as well. All you got to do, again, is go there to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. No purchase necessary, and again, we have multiple winners being announced a week from Friday. Quick break, we'll take a look at Major League Baseball. Who won last night? It was a light night of Major League Baseball last night. We'll give you the standings, who did well in as we said, in the trade deadlines, and get you ready for a Tuesday night of baseball at the ballpark right after this. We're live at Blue Lizard on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings. Everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
I'm with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Tuesday, August the 1st, brand new month. Glad to have you with us here. And again, thanks to yesterday, over 2,300 views on the show. And again, Jeremiah said he's got numbers that are going to blow my socks off for the month of July. And I'm very excited to hear what kind of numbers we've got. I got a pretty good indication, an inkling, if you will, of the continual growth of the show. We dedicate the show to the man who hung on the cross. As we say periodically, Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty said that show would go as far as the good Lord wanted it to go, and look what happened with those guys and ladies. And so, same situation. We'll go as far as he wants it to go, and it continues to grow, and we give him the credit for that. By the way, the hair, let me run through that again one more time. PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. We're growing this for cancer patients. Again, we lost... I lost my father and my biological mother, and also a stepmom, of course, to cancer. And so it's my small way of giving back. So we're growing this to reach the appropriate length, which we're almost there. So says Gatored Out Cherokee Barbershop. We'll cut it off and send it off to Pantene Beautiful Links, and they will help weave a real hair wig for ladies going through chemo and or radiation. So it's my small way of giving back. So check them out, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. We'll whack it off and start over. We like doing this, and so we're going to continue to do this to raise awareness for ladies going through cancer treatment via, or be it radiation or chemotherapy. So anyway, Pantene, the hair product, Pantena, I believe it is, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com, and check it out for yourself. That's what we're doing this for, in cooperation with the American Cancer Society. Major League Baseball, again, last night's scoreboard. First off, in the National League, Philadelphia beats Atlanta 7-6. Washington 1-0 winners over Miami. And it was Oakland defeating San Francisco 8-5. In the American League, Baltimore 2-1 winners over Kansas City. Yankees defeat Detroit 7-3. Boston beat up on Cleveland 6-2. Good matchup there between a couple of front runners in the American League. Seattle leads Texas, or beat Texas 6-4. White Sox 7, Toronto 6. Houston doubles up Tampa Bay 14-7 in the scoreboard from yesterday and last night. Here's your schedule before we get into the trades. Here's your schedule for today. First off, in the National League, Homer Bailey and the Reds will be in Pittsburgh to open up a series there against the Pirates. Washington will be in Miami. Dodgers in Atlanta. St. Louis, the Cardinals in Milwaukee to battle the Brewers. Cubbies hosting Arizona. New York will be in Colorado. San Francisco again continues their series in Oakland against the A's. Philadelphia at Los Angeles, and Minnesota in San Diego to battle the Padres. In the American League, everything under the lights, Detroit and New York, Kansas City and Baltimore. Cleveland continues their series in Boston tonight against Sale, who's 13-4. Seattle at Texas, Tampa Bay at Houston. Also tonight in the American League, you've got Toronto at Chicago, San Francisco, as we said, at Oakland. The Angels, Big Albert and the boys, Mike Trout playing host to Philadelphia. Minnesota, as we said, continues their series in San Diego against the Padres. Appalachian League Baseball, again last night, your winners Greenville, Pulaski, Elizabethton, Danville, and Bluefield all good wins last night. And so tonight you can watch Appalachian League Baseball in the Tri-Cities in Elizabethton, the Twins hosting Kingsport. Standings right now in the East, Bluefield with a half-game lead over Pulaski. In the West, which is the Tri-Cities division, you have Elizabethton with a 3-game lead over the Greenville Astros in the Appalachian League. Here's the standings going into baseball tonight. In the American League, it's tight. Yankees with a half-game lead over Boston. Tampa Bay 4.5 back. Baltimore has won 3 in a row, and they are now 6.5 back, beginning to make some noise for Buck Showalter's ball club. In the American League Central, Cleveland with a 2-game lead over Kansas City. Minnesota 6.5 back. In the American League West, it's Houston with a 16-game lead over Seattle. For all intents and purposes, that one is over. In the National League East, Washington with a 14-game lead over Miami. National League Central continues to be shown as the Cubbies leading the way with a 2.5-game lead over Milwaukee. Cubs have won 7 out of their last 10 and 2 in a row. They're hot right now. Milwaukee 2.5 back. Cardinals at 4.5. They've won 6 out of their last 10. They're starting to get a little head of steam, make a little run. And also Pittsburgh hanging around. They're 5.5 back in the NL Central. In the National League West, the rich just keep getting richer. We're going to tell you about that in a moment. The Dodgers, again, with the best record in baseball at 74-31. They're 14 games better than the Arizona Diamondbacks, again, in Major League. You know, I couldn't find some of these stories. Now I don't know why, because I stapled them together. I got a great NFL story here. A couple of yahoos, unbelievable. Ran up a $93 bar, a $9,300 bar tab and refused to pay it. I love it. We'll have that for you coming up here in just a second. We're surrounded by surrounded by idiots. Yeah, And there's some of them out there. There's some dandies. All right, top winners in Major League Baseball, the trading deadline. The Dodgers picking up Tony Watson and Tony Cingrani, and also Yu Darvish from the Rangers. Huge pickups. And so you got Wood, and when Clayton Kershaw comes back, and Yu Darvish from the Rangers, you're talking about you got Hill out there as well, Rich Hill. They got a very formidable starting pitching rotation for the Los Angeles Dodgers to make the stretch run. Kershaw, Darvish, Alex Wood, Rich Hill. Oh, by the way, as we told you, they're 74-31. The best team in baseball right now are the Los Angeles Dodgers. Who else benefited from the trades? Obviously, the Yankees go out and get Sonny Gray from the Oakland A's. Still far from perfect, but Brian Cashman, the general manager, went out and opened up that checkbook, and he outspent and really got more talent in the free agency and the trading deadline than his arch rival, the Boston Red Sox. I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that, but again, they pick up a big one in Sonny Gray. In the National League, the Nationals, with a big pickup of their bullpen, got late inning relievers Ryan Madsen, Sean Doolittle, and Brandon Kinsler for the stretch run for the Nationals, and so that was a big move for them. Steven Strasburg having some arm troubles, one of the starters for the Nationals. Edwin Jackson, he can be the fourth starter if Strasburg's arm issues continue in Washington, so they went out and helped themselves. Obviously, the Cubs picked up some big trades with Jose Quintana, among others, along with Justin Wilson. So the Cubs, the Yankees, and the Dodgers really benefited from the trading deadline. Teams that did not really benefit themselves all that much, that probably could have used some help, the Astros. Again, they pick up Francisco Liriano. Again, they get him out of the bullpen, or we use him out of the bullpen, but they probably could use some more relief help. I think the bullpen's kind of so-so. Some of the starting pitching's kind of iffy right now. Of course, you've had McCullers had a 9.64 ERA in 4 July starts. He's on the disabled list for the second time this year. So the starting rotation for the Astros, not too good. And so it was a chance to get could have went after Quintana or Darvish or Gray. Got none of those guys. So we'll see. Also, the Red Sox picked up Eduardo Nunez and Addison Reed. It's okay. I guess it could have been better. Red Sox did not even address the rotation while David Price deals with elbow issues for the second time this season. Also, the Padres, a team that could have done more than they did, didn't do anything really. Have Brad Hand, a lefty reliever, under team control through 2019. Teams all around baseball were coveting left-handed relievers, and so they had a chance to get some prospects on a team that's reeling, the Padres, and did not. And so, by all accounts, they didn't really do much. The Orioles traded for starting pitcher Jeremy Hellickson and shortstop Tim Beckham. And so if they're going for it, they didn't buy enough. They didn't give them enough bang for their buck. If they didn't, then why did they trade for Hellickson, who was a free agent after the season? So Baltimore really didn't help themselves too much either. So your top winners, again, in my humble opinion, the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Cubs, teams that did not help them, and the Nationals, teams that didn't help themselves much. Houston, the Astros, the Red Sox, the Padres, and the Orioles. So, again, going into the action tonight, in the East, the Yankees with a half-game lead over Boston. In the Central, Cleveland with a 2-game lead over Kansas City. In the West, it's all Houston. In the National League, Washington with a 14-game lead over Miami. In Central, you have the Cubs with a 2.5-game lead over Milwaukee. In the West, the Dodgers lead Arizona by 14 games. So that's who's profited and done well and did not do well in the free agent spending spree that ended last night. Quick break. We'll come right back. We're going to jump here and talk about high school football. Colin Brooks is going to join us by phone again with this magazine called Northeast Tennessee Pigskins, due to hit the newsstands very, very soon. They're putting the finishing touches on that. And then also we'll hear from Drew Bedard from Bristol Motor Speedway. We're cranking it up. We're not that far away. And so Colin Brooks joins us coming up next year live by phone here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live from Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen in South Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications and 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, there he is on the phone, Colin Brooks of the Northeast Tennessee Pigskin, NET Pigskin Magazine. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, Tom. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, yeah, likewise, and I appreciate you very much. So folks out there going, what is the NET Pigskin? What's this all about? Kind of give us an overview. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's something that Trey Williams and I put together last year. Covers, it's a magazine. Last year it was about 160 pages. This year it's looking like it's going to be about 190 pages. And it's just a high school football preview magazine. We felt the area was kind of lacking it. You know, the newspapers aren't really doing their previews like they used to do with their tabs. Those used to be really anticipated by the communities, and they're just not doing them like they used to. So Trey and I had a idea to try to put a magazine together, and so that's what we're doing. It covers all of Region 1, 36 teams, and then we've also got a few features in there. One I'm working on is on JT Brooks and how he's doing since his injury last year. I sat down with him a couple weeks ago, and we just talked about how he's adapting to everything, and he's still he's got some movement in his arms, but you know he's still wheelchair bound. So just how is he adjusting to life like that, and how excited he is for his senior year. So it's something that's different for the area, and it's a lot of fun for Trey and I.
We're talking to Colin Brooks again. So when you go, you got 36 teams in this magazine, which is phenomenal. So when I go to, let's pick any team off the top of my head, Sullivan North, Elizabethton, Chucky Doak, Science Hill, when I go to their particular pages, there's a consistent, is it returning starters, a capsule of the team? What will we see on each team?
We've been doing season previews of teams. Trey's really been working hard. He's averaging about 1,000 words per team. So we're talking about returning players. We're talking about players that have caught the coach's eye during off-season workouts. Every team will have a roster, a schedule for this year, a schedule for last year. It's really action. It's just packed full of stuff, and it's really for a great football fan that wants to go to a game. And you go to any Region 1 game in the area, and you'll have a roster for that team, and you'll know a little bit about that team. we've had a few coaches tell us while we've been on the road. We visited about 30 schools. And each time the coaches are saying, hey, we kind of use this for scouting sometimes, or, we didn't know about this kid until we read your magazine. So not only is it for the everyday fan, it's also for the coaching staff, and it's really for the kids. That's why we're doing it. We're not getting rich off this by any means, just kind of filling a void that's there for families and players, coaches, just something they can hold on to for the next 20 years and really look back and recall their days as players.
We're talking again to Colin Brooks. You see on the screen on the phone for the NET Pigskin coming up. We're going to hear from Drew Bedard at Bristol Motor Speedway. Also, right around the corner, we're going to hear from Joe Gibbs talking about two of his drivers in. Two of his drivers aren't in the chase, and we'll get his take on, obviously, he wants to get all four of them in the chase, and we'll hear from Coach Gibbs coming up here in a few minutes. It goes on sale, I think you said, hopefully August the 4th, which is this Friday. How much will it be, and where do we get a copy of it?
August 4th is correct. We're burning the midnight oil and a little bit, throwing anything into the fire that'll give us a little bit of energy. And August 4th is a release date. Friday morning, we hope to have it at Fanatics in Johnson City. The newsstand in Kingsport, Tom Thorpe is a real good guy down there, and he carried them for us last year. And there's a few other locations that we're working on that we hope we'll be able to have them at. But for right now, Fanatics and the newsstand in Kingsport is where you'll be able to get them on Friday morning.
There you go. Coming up, and the cost, how much will this be?
Oh, $15. So it's about it's looking like it's going to be about 190 pages. And so all that for $15. And like I said, you can go to any Region 1 game, and any of your questions about a team will be answered as soon as you open that book.
There you go. NET Pigskin, 36 teams, 190 pages, comes out again. They've done a phenomenal job. I've been talking to Colin throughout the process, and they've put in a lot of work. They've gone out to each of these teams and sit down with the coaches and the kids. I mean, they've put in a lot of legwork, so it's going to be a very, very good publication. Can't wait to get a copy. Colin, thanks a whole bunch, my friend. Keep on keeping on. I know you guys are busy trying to pull this together and get it done, so, hey, we'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Tom. We appreciate everything you do.
You got it. Good man right there. Appreciate his friendship. Colin Brooks again with us for the NET Pigskin. Again, it'll come out this coming Friday. 36 teams. That's a lot of teams. That's a lot of coverage. And so 36 teams across Northeast Tennessee. Gosh, pick them. Sullivan East, Sullivan South, Sullivan Central, Tennessee High, Dobbins-Bennett, Unicoi County, Happy Valley, the list just goes on and on. Cloudland, Unaka, 36 teams, 190 pages, comes out August the 4th. Fanatics in the Johnson City Mall, also the newsstand in downtown Kingsport. So those are two of the places you can pick up a copy for $15, and you really can't beat it for what you're going to get. 190 pages and 36 teams. What a great reference tool all season long, which we'll obviously get a copy of and be using, because we're getting ready to crank up coming up August the 14th. Nope, August the 17th, our maiden voyage of the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview. We are very excited about that. Going to be co-hosted with the show with Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press. We're going to have weekly reports and previews on Tennessee's football games, Virginia Tech's football games, Hokie, 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 the Hokie Nation. Love me some Hokies. I like the Hokies more. Did some work for them up there last year and like the Hokies. In fact, I got a story on how strong they start their practices today, how much bigger they've gotten in Blacksburg by being in the weight room all summer. We'll have previews on Virginia Tech, East Tennessee State. Carmichael's going to give us the top 5 games every week of college football across the board. And let's see, East Tennessee State, UT. Dave Angie's going to do the Big East Conference with the Dobbins-Bennett Science Hill Conference. Doug Fritz is going to contribute, of course, to the other games of the week and the other high school conferences, the big games. Joe Vento is going to be doing the East Tennessee State preview, so we've got it covered, and it all starts on the 17th. It'll be right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show and, of course, on Facebook as well, and it'll start again, as we said, August the 17th, and it'll be the maiden voyage, what we hope will be a long-term relationship with Champion Chevrolet. We're going to do it from the showroom of Champion Chevrolet with Andy and Tim, and Kristen Martin's going to be part of the show as well, the young lady you see every Thursday on the show who does a bang-up job. So pretty excited about it. Again, starts on the 17th, which is 2 weeks from Thursday. It's going to be upon us here. And so we will definitely use this book as a reference point, the NET Pigskin magazine coming out this coming Friday. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll be going from high school football to Bristol Motor Speedway. Can't wait to talk to my man Drew Bedard. We got lots to talk about and some premium seating experiences. We've been talking about tickets, how you can get tickets here on the show, and how you can get tickets from bristoltix.com from the Speedway. There is 10 different ways you can get a little extra oomph, if you will, a little premium experience. Again, the world's fastest half mile. Drew's going to tell us about that next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen's Crown Laboratories in South Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again. You see on the phone Drew Bedard, the Senior Director of Brand Management of Bristol Motor Speedway. Good morning, sir. How are you? I know it's busy at Bristol and can't wait to get up there, but it's a happy time because our fans are getting ready to come back to Bristol. It's pretty cool time of the year, is it not?
It is, Tom. Yes, thank you. Having a good day. Yeah, it's wide open right now. We've actually got a crew in Knoxville today doing a media event with couple of drivers, one in the truck series, one in Xfinity series, doing a go-kart race and a race at Food City, like kind of a supermarket sweep. So got that going on. Got everybody at the racetrack ramping up, talking a lot of racing, a lot of Dale Jr. Last race at Bristol. It's exciting. Our ticket sales are extremely strong right now. I think everybody's getting excited about this race.
Oh, I know I am. And in the community, there's a buzz in the community because they know that for all indications, I've been talking for a couple of weeks now, all the camping, on property camping is on a waiting list at Bristol Motor Speedway from the RVs to the tents. So everything on property, that's a great sign. It's been that way for 3 or 4 weeks. So that tells us the folks are coming. In fact, I saw a story on CYB last night. Some of the fans are already here starting to camp and hang out. So, yep, we're getting ready for a big crowd. That's what we want. We want them to come in here and pack this place out. There's 10 different ways to get more than just the basic ticket, and that we've got some sweet experiences, some infield hospitality. We've also got the pre-race. Let's jump in and talk for a second. The infield hospitality, these are options you can get by going to the pit road party zone, the old smoky roof at turn 4, and also the Apex. Tell me about the infield hospitality opportunities for the fans.
Yeah, there's some different opportunities, very cool spots. Pit road party zone, we can start there, which is in kind of an all-inclusive experience where you get a cold pass, you get food throughout the day, you get appearances from drivers, you get some music down there. So again, you get to walk around the infield, kind of check that out before everything goes hot. You get great access to the concert, and then you get a seat in the infield, but then we also give you access to Victory Lane during the race, our traditional Victory Lane, where you can go up and you can watch some of the race from there. So it's a really cool experience for people who have done it in the past, and I know we have a bunch of people signed up, but there's still some availability there. Our new option in the infield is called Apex. It's kind of like a sports bar in the infield. It's underneath our traditional Victory Lane, which used to be the driver's meeting room. That was Tennessee's locker room during the football game last year, just as a fun fact. But that is kind of an indoor-outdoor experience where you can go in there, fully air-conditioned, food, drink. We've got TVs all over the walls. Again, it's kind of like going to your favorite wing place right there in the infield at Bristol Motor Speedway. So, and then you get access to the old smoky roof in turn 4, which, of course, that is an additional experience as well that a lot of our suite holders take advantage of, a lot of our season ticket holders, but that is available if people want to get involved with the roof in turn 4. Really cool spot, and you can get a weekend pass down there. So, yeah, infield hospitality, there's some great things to do. If you like the vantage point of being inside the bowl and you like that sound and you just like the fun of just being down there, and now we have a couple different almost, bar and club type atmospheres down there, it's a good spot. You call 423-BRISTOL, talk to any one of our ticket agents, or you can ask for Jonathan Moore directly. He runs all the premium areas from the ticket office side, and it's a lot of fun. I would definitely inquire about it. It's a lot of different experiences all over the property during race day, specifically Cup Day. And it's good to call in and kind of weigh your options because they happen at different times. There are different price points. There's add-ons to your tickets. So it's just kind of, it's like, I guess it's like a little bit of Burger King. You can have it your way.
We're talking to Drew Bedard, the Senior Director of Brand and Management at Bristol Motor Speedway. Then we go into the suite experiences. We've got several of those. Let's start with the Chairman's Experience and the Bristol Tap Room and Lounge. Tell us about those two first off, would you please?
Sure. Chairman's Experience, is that what you asked about?
Yes.
Is that the first one? Great.
Yeah.
Chairman's Experience is exactly what it sounds like. So it is an experience that we built as if you are the owner of the racetrack. And it essentially gives you all access to anywhere on the property with a on-call golf cart, take you to the infield, go to Victory Lane, go anywhere you want. You got hot passes. You get a lot of appearances with that. You get, obviously, you're in a private suite, high above it all on the front stretch. You have your own seat and locker right next to your seat. Obviously, all-inclusive food. It is a blast. A lot of people that take advantage of it are companies and people wanting to celebrate things. So, or maybe this is the only time you can make it to Bristol, and you want to really blow it out and have a big time. There are just a couple of those seats left. I think it was almost sold out. The other one is Bristol Tap Room, which is high above turn 2. It is an indoor-outdoor experience. It is a suite experience at the Tap Room where you could either buy a seat, a permanent seat in there in the lounge, or you could have a standing kind of bar table area. And what it does is it gives the ability for those people kind of sitting in that general area of the stadium, specifically Wallace Tower, which is the kind of highest point stands in the stadium that most people, if they've been around here, they'll recognize. But it gives you that indoor-outdoor where you can go out, sights and sounds and smells, and then you can go inside, get some air conditioning, get some food and drink, and hang out in there where you can talk to your friends for a little while. So that's a cool upgrade option for people, kind of Wallace Tower, Turn 2 area. Also Bush Banks and Brews, which is on, obviously ground level, Turn 1 and almost into Turn 2, which is kind of like another kind of sports bar-esque type of feeling with Bush beer on that one. A lot of fun. You can buy a bar stool there. You can buy access to the deck as an upgrade. So a lot of different premium areas, a lot of different cool things to do. I think that's a desire. I just went to a conference a few weeks ago, and it was all about suite and premium experiences. And what more stadiums are doing, which is no different from what we're doing, is that people want different things. They don't necessarily just want a seat anymore. They want to experience something new and different and cool. And so a lot of stadiums, just like ours, are kind of taking different areas of the stadium and making them into custom experiences for people. Just like Apex, the roof, Bush Banks and Brews, the tap room, the Chairman's Experience, Old Smoky Lounge, which is over Turn 4, which is kind of an Old Smoky theme. If you've been to the Holler in Gatlinburg, it's kind of theme like that. So there's a lot of different things to do, and I just encourage everybody, if you're interested or if you want more information, just call our ticket office, and our great people are standing by.
You can go on the web, too, again, at bristolmotorspeedway.com, and go into the category Get Tickets, and all these are there and explains each one of these in detail. We've hit you with a lot of information. Mountain Dew pre-race featuring Chase Elliott, the big crowd favorite, one of the most popular drivers already on the circuit, the young man Chase Elliott. So tell us about the Mountain Dew pre-race and also the pre-race Super Pass down on the track. Tell us about those.
Yeah, the Chase Elliott pre-race tailgate, that's really cool. So what happens is it's kind of like a pre-race hospitality where it's in our hospitality village, and you go in there, you get food and drink, you get a voucher for food and drink, and can hang out in a nice air-conditioned environment. And then Chase Elliott's going to make an appearance on Cup Day. Comes in for about 15 minutes, does Q&A, and really, hangs out with everybody for a little while. And again, it's kind of sponsored and promoted by Mountain Dew. So you get all this great products and gift swag and some gifts, and we always have some fun personalities that will roll through there. So that is pre-race, and then of course you'll have your ticket for the race and headed inside. What was the other one you were asking about?
Pre-race Super Pass.
Pre-race Super Pass, Tom. Yeah, that's a fun one. That's kind of our 3-in-1 solution. If you want track access, the Super Pass is the thing. And I have to say that we're down to about our last 100 passes on that one. It's almost sold out. It almost sells out every single time. That's a special experience for people because it gives you three things. First one is a track walk. So when we open the track surface, people can go down there, take pictures of the cars. You get real close kind of on the pit wall side, and you can take pictures down there. Then is the concert. So we just announced last week that'll be Cody Jinks, who's a rising country star, huge fan base. I was shocked to see, man, when we announced that. There are so many people who love him. So Cody Jinks concert that will happen before the race, and then you are down there and sort of what we do for driver intros. Obviously, a lot of people know this is they come out of Turn 3 to their own song, announce themselves, and then they get onto these trucks, and you're kind of right in the path, and you can. Basically, you're high-fiving the drivers. They're right next to you down there on the track surface. So that's the pre-race Super Pass. Again, there's just a few of those left. So if you're interested, I would call today, or I wouldn't let this week go by. I think they're going to be gone by the end of this week.
Donald Drubadar, the Senior Director of Brand Management of Bristol Motor Speedway. You can see on the screen here. Love having this guy on. And, of course, we're going to be up there with Breakfast at Bristol, utilizing the Facebook page of Bristol Motor Speedway starting, 2 weeks from tomorrow on Wednesday, and looking forward to doing that for sure. And so, again, we keep hearing the return of Dale Jr. for the final time, and that obviously is a very big selling point for this race. But, Drew, you and I both know it's the best track in NASCAR. The fans come, we pack in country music, the carnival atmosphere, great racing, the best drivers in the world on the best track. So there's all kinds, the new the new groove down the lower part of the track. The pressure of these drivers going to have to do well trying to get into the chase. So there's a lot riding on this weekend coming up in racing at Bristol, and it's really going to be a treat for the fans. The Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series, all three are shaping up to be just a heck of a weekend, and a lot of drivers still trying to get into the chase, and they're going to have a lot of pressure on them to do well, will they not?
Yeah, they will. I think it's going to be an interesting race weekend. I think in a lot of ways. I think the truck race is going to be interesting. I think the Xfinity Series with Dale Jr. racing in that one, but also these guys who are fighting for points and fighting for a championship. And then I think the Cup with so much parity, young guns, but I mean, there's still guys out there. There's still guys like Chase Elliott who are looking for that win on the season. With Kyle Busch getting that win, that was obviously a huge relief for his season because he was running up front and making it happen every single week and just ran into bad luck about every turn. But I think this is going to be one of those Saturday nights that is going to be memorable. I think it's going to be one of those Saturday nights that we're going to see a battle, that three-way, four-way battle for the lead right to the end, similar to what we saw in spring. I mean, with the low groove, as sticky as it is, and, a hot August night, I think that, guys are going to be digging all night to get to the front. And I think you're going to see guys like Chase Elliott and some others who are going to be fighting for a win. Kevin Harvick, obviously, and it's going to. I think it's going to get dicey down the stretch. And I think when you're this close to the chase, that there may be that type of iconic moment that glove or helmet throw or something like that. People frustrated because. It's just, I think the passion's been ratcheted up. I think everybody, with all these guys winning, I think there's just those few choice, chase spots left. And I think it's down to it now. There's only a couple races left by the time they get to us, and it's going to be heated. Under the lights, man, it's just everything ratchets up a little bit.
You got it. BristolTix.com, 423-BRISTOL, or 1-866-415-4158. That's the three ways to get your tickets at Bristol Motor Speedway. Now, switching gears, let's talk about your brother. And I saw where they had a phenomenal first week of subscribers as a show based on sports in Boston and Beantown. It's really cool. Your brother Greg Bedard, former writer for Sports Illustrated, went out on his own venture and obviously coming out of the gate very, very successful. We hope to have him on the show here in the next couple of weeks to promote it here in the hills of East Tennessee and all over the world. But again, talk about Bubby, talk about Greg Bedard. It's been a phenomenal start to his show.
Yeah, if you're a Boston sports fan, man, I'm a Boston sports fan, so obviously I'm a little bit of a biased, I'm a biased audience here because it's also my big brother and it's Boston sports. But the site has been really strong. So it's BostonSportsJournal.com. It's owned and run by my brother Greg Bedard, who's formerly of Sports Illustrated and the Boston Globe. Also Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, and he's written for a lot of different places, but strong. He's back doing what he likes, which is columns and kind of the game ins and outs and X's and O's for the Patriots. And then he's got a Red Sox and Celtics writer right now, and they're doing great stuff. I mean, breaking news, doing different things. It's really cool. So if you're a Boston, I won't belabor the point. If you're a Boston sports fan and you're looking for great in-depth coverage, then I check it out. I really enjoy it so far, and I want to know about the Red Sox and Celtics, and they've got a Bruins writer that's about to start in the next couple of weeks. That's what it is, man. It's dedicated to Boston sports. So if you like that sort of thing, even if you don't, just go check it out. And if you're a New York fan or you're a Chicago fan or an LA fan or if you're just a Tennessee Vols fan, maybe just give a click over and just check it out. Supporting good journalism, and I think that's what we all want, just like this show does.
And again, in closing, how do we find it? How do we go find your brother, Boston Sports?
Yeah, it's BostonSportsJournal.com, and my brother's Greg Bedard. You can send him a note, tell him that the Tom Taylor Sports Show sent you.
There you go. Share it and like it's the name of the game. And so Drew's the man. I know you're busy, and hey, I'll talk to you. We'll be up there next week ready to go, start putting some things together. And it's Bristol, baby. I'm very excited to be part of the team again, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right, Tom, thank you.
Yep, good job, our buddy Drew Bedard, again, the senior brand management, our senior director of brand management, at Bristol Motor Speedway, and appreciate him very much being with us here on the show. And we like the Drew Meister. He's a dandy. He is dynamite, as they say, and we appreciate him very much. And again, tickets 423-BRISTOL, BristolTix.com, or 1-866-415-4158. Or you can win tickets right here, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Again, we're giving away the doubleheader tickets for the Wednesday race 2 weeks from tomorrow night. The UNOH 200, again, the Camping World Truck Series, Ben Kennedy in defending his crown from a year ago. The Bush's Beans 150, Eric Goodell won it last year in the Chevrolet. Interestingly enough, Bow Ties won all 4 races. Chevrolet is the official car at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Food City 300 on Friday night. We're 17 days out from that, obviously, on the 18th, and it was won by Austin Dillon in a Chevrolet. And then the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race won by Kevin Harvick a year ago. So all that, again, getting ready to unfold, and can't wait to get up there and go to work and be a part of the, in my humble opinion, the best staff anywhere in NASCAR is the staff at Bristol Motor Speedway. They bust their tails to, as you heard him say, they got a team down in Knoxville today doing some promotions, some go-kart racing with some truck drivers, and just having a big time getting ready to promote and sell tickets in Knoxville, which is a big fan base for Bristol Motor Speedway. Here's Brad Keselowski talking about how special Bristol Motor Speedway really is, and he said, there's just something unique about Bristol, and here's Brad Keselowski to tell you about it here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It was a few years ago. I remember, I think it was Dale Jr. Someone tweeted as he was flying in, and he flew over the track, that 10, 15 years ago when we had the big track boom, so to speak, why didn't anyone ever look at Bristol and say we need to build another one of these? Because it's a very special place. And I think you get that feeling every time you come here when you walk in. And you get that feeling when you pull out on the racetrack, too. There's no track I've ever ran that is comparable to Bristol. It's a unique challenge. And I think it's really a lot of what this sport was made of was the unique challenge of short tracks. Bristol takes that to another degree, which I think is part of its staying power and why it's lasted so long in the sport when, a lot of the short tracks haven't.
And there you go. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. It's a great way to describe it. We'll be right back right after this, and we'll take a look at NASCAR. They have made the announcement for 2018. Some of the drivers in the Cup Series, you'll see less and less on the other series, that being the Xfinity Series and the Camping World Truck Series, and there's a reason why. We'll tell you right after this. Again, we're live again at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. Before we go to the break, here it is one more time. Blue Lizard, the sport. This is a sport bottle day for sure today. Again, Blue Lizard. Again, water resistant for 80 minutes, zinc oxide formula. Again, the smart bottle technology when the cap turns blue. Again, that tells you that there is UV light out there for you to apply. Again, Blue Lizard. It is an effective UV protectant for seriously active lifestyles. It is extremely water resistant for 80 minutes based on US FDA test methods. This formulation contains 3 effective UVB absorbers to offer broad spectrum protection without slowing you down. And again, at Blue Lizard, they've been doing it for over 15 years, meeting the needs of dermatologists. It is dermatologist recommended here at the bottom of the box. So again, Blue Lizard Sport. Again, SPF 30. And again, the smart bottle technology, you take it out of the box and put it out in the sunlight. If that cap turns blue, the lid turns blue, you need to put it on your body. And so there's the Blue Lizard logo. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll talk NASCAR. And we got a story, a couple of good old boys ran up a bar tab at the National Football League players and said, we ain't paying it. Oh boy, we'll take a break. We'll come right back right after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4600. 4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back with the Tom Davis Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Show number 569, show 570. 570 tomorrow at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday will be at Food City on Eastman Road in Kingsport on a Food City Friday. Today, again, we're at Blue Lizard, Australian Sunscreen. And again, we are here broadcasting live from the Crown Laboratories in South Johnson City. So as we promised, a couple of good old boys in the National Football League, Lions defensive tackle Ashawn Robinson and Buccaneers offensive lineman Caleb Benoch, hope I'm saying it right, B-E-N-N, probably not saying it, B-E-N-E-N-O-C-H, Benoch are being sued over a $9,300 bar tab at the Hollywood nightclub. They were invited by Richard Harrington to the Hyde nightclub in March and was racked up the 4-figure bar tab. Came to pay the bill. Each player's credit card was declined. Harrington agreed to pay the bill as long as Robinson and Caleb paid him back. Well, they haven't. In the lawsuit obtained and later acquired by ESPN, Harrington claims each player sent him $2,000 but left him with the remaining $5,300. Both guys said, quote, "That's all we're going to say about this. We are focused on football. We did our part. I'm not really worried about what they've got going on. The legal system is going to play itself out. I'm focused on what we've got going on here." Robinson, a second-round pick from Alabama, declined to answer questions about the lawsuit. And so, anyway, Ashawn Robinson, and Caleb Benoch, I don't think I'm saying it right, again, being sued over a $9,300 bar tab. They each sent the guy $2,000. It leaves a remaining balance of about $5,300. And they said, "Good luck. We're not paying any more of it." So, see how that goes for them. See how that flies. I wouldn't think it's going to fly very good, but we'll see. NASCAR news this morning. Breaking news. Starting next season, again, they've announced the limitations for the Cup drivers to drop down and race in the Xfinity Series and the Camping World Truck Series for 2018. And so, starting next season, drivers with more than 5 years of full-time experience in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series will be limited to a maximum of 7 races. This year, they could race in 10 races. It's going to only be 7 next year. The Truck Series this year, some of the Cup drivers or all the Cup drivers could drop down and be in 7 truck races. So they're going to, again, slim that down to 5 next year. So from 10 to 7 in the Xfinity Series and from 7 to 5 truck races for the Cup drivers in the Camping World Truck Series for 2018. The reason, Jim Cassidy says, the Senior Vice President of Racing Operations for NASCAR says, the reason fans have made it clear they want to see the future stars of the sport racing against their peers in the Xfinity and Camping World Truck Series. And so he says these guidelines achieve that and preserve limited opportunities for developing drivers to compete against the best in motorsports. So the updated guidelines do not apply to drivers who are competing for the championship in the NASCAR Xfinity Series or the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So basically, what they're saying is starting next year, the Cup drivers can race in 7 instead of 10 Xfinity races, and starting next year, the Cup drivers can drop down and race in 5 truck races somewhere along the way in the season instead of 7. So they are slimming it down so the regulars on those series can get in there and race. Now, some of the drivers I've talked to in the past, they like that. They want to be able to, be left alone and do their own thing and not have to race against the Kyle Bushes and the Kevin Harvicks and the Joey Logano's and so on and so forth. But on the flip side, some of the drivers say we want them in the series because, A, it puts more fans in the seats because they want to come out and see the marquee names. Case in point with Dale Jr. and the Food City 300 this racing season for the Xfinity Series at Bristol. Selling a lot of tickets for the Friday night race because Junior's going to be in it. So some of the drivers say we want the Cup drivers there for that reason, and also they want the Cup drivers there because they say we get better racing against better competition than some of the up-and-comers and the young guys that are in the series. So you bring a Cup driver, you're racing door-to-door or whatever with a Logano or a Busch or a Newman or a Larson, then it makes us better drivers. So I see the argument on both sides of the fence, but NASCAR's ruled and said starting next year, Cup drivers only be in 7 Xfinity races all season, and the Cup drivers will be in 5 truck races, and they can pick the ones they want. A lot of times, the Xfinity and Cup series are picked by drivers who want to race at Bristol. So we'll see, but that's what's happening going forward for 2018. College football, the Virginia Tech football team, the Hokies, officially opened practice for the fall with a meeting and a team meeting and a news conference ahead of tonight's first practice in Blacksburg. During the news conference, Coach Justin Fuente offered high praise for the efforts of strength and conditioning coach Ben Hilgert and the staff in preparing the Hokies for the upcoming season. Again, many Hokie players have been posting pictures on social media showing the transformation of their bodies through the strength and conditioning program. Several players checked in noticeably bigger. Among them were guard Wyatt Teller, at 315 pounds. Defensive tackle Ricky Walker at 300, linebacker Tremaine Edwards at 250, and safety Terrell Edmonds at 220. All right, see what they were in this book here coming into the season. We'll see what they say about some of these guys. See if it has any of their weights and sizes. Yep, here we go over here. Let's see what they got. They've got 6'5", 308, and again, he's picked up 7 or 8 pounds of muscle. Wyatt Teller, defensive tackle Ricky Walker, says here Ricky Walker would be 6'2", 282. He's now 6'2", 300. He's picked up 18 pounds of body mass by weightlifting for Virginia Tech. Linebacker Tremaine Edmonds at 220, and it's now 236. He picked up 16 pounds in the weight room, and it's all muscle, of course. And also Terrell Edmonds, who was to be at 220, and he's or 210. He's at 220. So he's picked up 10 pounds. So these guys have been there pounding the weights, and it's showing. Here's the Hokies schedule, by the way. They open things up in September the 3rd against West Virginia, a month from Thursday. They'll take on the Mountaineers in Landover, Maryland. Then they'll come back home to Delaware, go to East Carolina, Old Dominion, and then Clemson will round out the month of September. They'll play Clemson in Blacksburg. October, the Hokies have games at Boston College, North Carolina homecoming, Halloween weekend, Duke comes to town. Then in November, the Hokies will go to Miami, Florida, to Georgia Tech, come back home for Pitt, and wrap things up in Virginia for the Commonwealth Cup on that Friday, November the 24th. So that's what they've got going on for the Hokies, and it starts on September the 3rd. And so again, the Hokies' first practice is tonight at Steve Johnson practice field. They open the season, as we said, on Sunday, September the 3rd against West Virginia at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. So that's what's going on there. Hey, what's going on again coming up this coming Thursday night? I hope you'll be able to attend it. We're going to have a big time. We're looking forward to being over there. What are we talking about? We're talking about putt-putt coming up this coming Thursday night. We're going to be over there doing a little live broadcast break-in, if you will, and that will be the chance for you to come over and play putt-putt at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital putt-putt at Putt-Putt on Stone Drive in Kingsport. Everybody can play putt-putt. Again, 90 kids right now in our region are using the services of St. Jude's, either in Memphis, at the main hospital or at the satellite hospital, Niswonger Children's Hospital here in Johnson City. Registration starts at 5, tournament starts at 6, $25 to play as a person, 4-person team, captain's choice, $100 a team, of course. Entertainment's going to be by Benny Wilson, Ivy Road, and also Asylum Suite. Again, there's going to be all the food donated, which is really cool. All the food donated, which means when they're cooking them up, and Mark DeWitt's the guy out of Rogersville. He's kind of the chef and the hamburger guy and the hot dog guy. So when he's making and cooking those hot dogs and the hamburgers on the grill, everything you purchase as far as your food will go straight to the pot because all the food has been donated. There's a 50-50 ticket table where you put your money in the pot, and 50% of the money will go to you, and the other 50 goes to St. Jude's. All kinds of items, a silent auction. It's a really cool event. It's coming up again Thursday night. It'll be at the Putt Putt in Kingsport. Again, the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital Putt for a Cure. And again, it's being put on by the Gold Wing Riders Association, Tennessee Chapter C, and presenting the 8th annual Putt Putt tournament. Last year they raised over $20,000+ in one night. It's incredible. There's people come from all over the place. And, the rule of thumb is not everybody can play golf. I don't play golf. Not everybody can play golf, but everybody can play putt-putt. I mean, I was over there the other day and shot an 84 or something. It was terrible, but I had a good time. So not very good at it, but sure have fun doing it. And so that's what's going on again. Putt-putt on Thursday night. We'll be over there for a little while broadcasting. Hope you'll stop by and play, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Here is Casey Kane. Casey Kane, again, we told you they've started a new format, kind of a trial balloon. Apparently it's going over very, very well with the drivers, where you qualify and race the same day. They did it last week in Pocono. They'll do it this week in Watkins Glen. And here's Casey Kane, who punched his ticket into the championship with a big win a couple of weeks back. And here's Casey Kane on qualifying and racing on the same day here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Hopefully it works really well with qualifying in the morning, racing in the afternoon. I like that. So it's just tough to say. We'll have to keep doing it and really understand it. But I like the impound. I like not having to put all that time into qualifying and then switch it back over for the teams. We only get about an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 45 minutes practice, something like that. So to not have to mess with that 30 minutes of changes, it gives us more practice time for both. So I like this schedule this weekend the best so far of the 2-day stuff. But it depends what everybody likes, and there's a lot of people that are looking at this and trying to understand, if it works, makes sense for the future.
So all the NASCAR series transfers into Watkins Glen this weekend, where Denny Hamlin won the race a year ago on the road course, and the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, won a year ago by Joey Logano. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to be joined by Michael Smeltzer coming up at the bottom of the hour. See what's going on with the Johnson City Football Club that affects kids all over the Tri-Cities. It's growing by leaps and bounds, and Smeltzer joins us coming up here in just a few minutes. We're live here again at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. Here's the one that I want to talk about for just a second. This is the one the ladies and gents love this one because this is the face, Blue Lizard. And what does that mean? That means that the ladies can apply this on their face. It's a gel, and then put your makeup on over top of that. Guys can put this on also after they shave, after they use their aftershave. Again, it's face. Again, no parabens. You see right here, no fragrances. Where am I at, right? Wrong finger. There we go. No parabens, no fragrances. Again, SPF 30+, broad spectrum UVA and UVB, 8% zinc oxide, no oils, no parabens, no fragrances, antioxidant in a rich formulation. It's specially formulated for daily wear to provide effective UV protection. This moisturizing sunscreen is enriched with antioxidants to help rejuvenate your skin and reduce, how about that, reduce the signs of aging. Its gel formulation goes on easily and absorbs quickly to help you face the day. I like that. And so, meeting the needs of dermatologists for over 15 years, Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen, made right here in Johnson City. We're at the plant. And again, check it out. It's called Blue Lizard Face. And there you go. They sell a pile of it again all over the country. Of course, in Walmarts, locally in food cities, and again, the official sunscreen of the Chicago Cubs, the New York Yankees, and starting next year the Boston Red Sox. And again, Sergio Garcia, sponsored by Blue Lizard on the PGA Tour, so they're everywhere. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Blue Lizard on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
This is the place. The place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, 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 and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Today is the last day to go to any food city, and all food cities, 134 strong. And today's the last day to contribute to the Paralyzed Veterans of America campaign, where when you get done shopping, simply add $1, $3, or $5 donation to the end of your shopping experience in Food City. Arctic Coolers joined the team with a pledge of $25,000, kicked this off back last month, and so it's been a month-long campaign. Today is the last day to go in and shop at any and all food cities, 134 strong across 4 states, of course, Kentucky, Virginia, here in East Tennessee, and in North Georgia. And so $1, $3, or $5, 100% will go to our Paralyzed Veterans of America, especially those, of course, most of these, I should say, that are dealing with spinal injuries. And so we want to give them what they deserve the most. It's called the ABLE campaign. This is to give our severely injured heroes access to what they've earned and deserve. That would be care, yes, jobs, absolutely, and benefits, no question. To date, over the past 6 years, Food City has raised more than $800,000 to benefit Paralyzed Veterans of America. Today is the last day to contribute, and so we want to be sure and do very, very well, and I think it's been going great guns, so we can present a big check to Richard Petty, who is the ambassador to the Paralyzed Veterans of America. And so this is the 7th year partnership with Food City and NASCAR champion, NASCAR Hall of Fame inductee Richard Petty, but it ends today, so if you're going to be shopping at your local Food City today, please consider, again, adding one more time for the final day of this campaign, $1 or $3 or $5 to the end of your shopping experience, again, at your local Food City. 134 strong across 4 states, and this Friday we're back in the stores, Food City Friday. This week will be on Eastman Road in Kingsport. Next week will be at Piney Flats on the 11th, and then the Friday after the race will be at Food City in Blountville, in Blunt Vegas as we call it. So we'll be out at Food City 3 times this month and love it. This Friday, Eastman Road, Kingsport, Hubbard store, Terry Templeton store next Friday in Piney Flats, and Steve Strickler's store coming up again on the 25th, and that'll be, of course, his store in Blountville. So pretty cool stuff. We love going out on the road to our friends at Food City, who we love promoting, and it's just a win-win. We love being out there and love being able to press the flesh and meet the folks, and as we are here today as well. A week after spurring, here's some golf news. A week after spurring Rory McIlroy into a 4th place finish in the British Open, former East Tennessee State University golfer is out as McIlroy's caddy. He has fired J.P. Fitzgerald, again, a young man who, again, was his caddy for Rory McIlroy for many years, quite frankly, and he thanked Fitzgerald for berating him into shape during the first round of the British Open. A run of bogeys to begin the tournament left McIlroy 4 over par and floundering. Fitzgerald let the 4th-ranked player in the world have it, and so they got after each other pretty good, and so at the end he let him go. Fitzgerald earned $1.4 million in 2014 as a caddy for Rory McIlroy, who again is no longer part of his team, if you will. And so anyway, McIlroy originally signed to play at East Tennessee State before turning pro. We'll talk to the media tomorrow before the Bridgestone Invitational in Ohio. So again, Fitzgerald no longer the caddy for Rory McIlroy. That would be J.P. Fitzgerald from East Tennessee State University. So there you go. Hey, on the local scene, sports-wise, you've got volleyball getting ready to crank up and cross-country, and also, cross-country, girls soccer, and volleyball getting ready to crank up in just a couple of weeks. And so they can begin just 2 weeks from yesterday, August 14th, the first official day for those sports to start their regular season, which will be 2 weeks from yesterday, or a week from this coming Monday, obviously. And so girls soccer, cross country, and volleyball and golf are getting started already. Of course, football cranks up for most of the schools on August the 18th, when a lot of the teams get cranked up on race week. And we'll start our, again, Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football preview show coming up on August the 17th, live from Champion Chevrolet, co-hosted by Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press. Very, very excited about this show. And so we'll do that again coming up on August the 17th. It'll be our first show. We'll do that during the day because we got duties Thursday night at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But then starting on August the 24th, it'll be every Thursday night from 6 to 8 right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and also on the Facebook page and TomTaylorSports.com. So very, very excited about this. It's also an opportunity for you to more or less a picking panel go up against me and Dave. Dave and I are going to challenge you to try and beat us. We're going to be picking some of the big games, high school and college, every week, and so we're going to challenge you to see if you can't beat the experts, and that would be Dave and I. Well, it'll be Dave, and I'll just be along for the ride, so we're looking forward to that. It all starts August the 17th, 2 weeks from Thursday, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show, previewing high school and college across this great state and across this great country, starting on August the 17th, and the show will originate live from the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. Quick break, we'll be right back. We will check in with our good friend Michael Smeltzer of the Johnson City Football Club coming up next year. We're live at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen at Crown Laboratories in South Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
And we're back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. There he is on the phone, Michael Smeltzer from the Johnson City Football Club. Again, thanks. Yesterday had over 2,400 views and continues to grow every day, and we appreciate that. And, of course, we were in West Virginia last week at Hardee's and had over 3,500 views. So our high water mark has been over 4,000, so we're hoping to eclipse that. Again, that's our goal. So we're averaging easily over 2,000 views a show. We appreciate that, and we continue to grow. And let's go to the phone. Our guy that talks about soccer in Johnson City, Michael Smeltzer from the Johnson City Football Club. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Hey, good afternoon there, Tom. Appreciate you reaching out again. And that's great news about what's going on with the Tom Taylor Sports Show there as far as growing and getting huge, too. It's hopefully we're doing the same thing with JCFC, Johnson City Football Club, as well.
Yeah, you guys have had some phenomenal numbers. Again, had a little get-together last night. Tell us what's going on. First off, just step back and tell everybody what the Johnson City Football Club's all about.
Well, we're going into our second really full year of existence. Basically, we kind of wanted to bring back sort of, what, I had growing up and some other people in our club had growing up in Johnson City with a community-based soccer club to kind of fill a need, fill a void. We saw something that kind of needed to be done. We, took steps in the right direction, and basically we brought Johnson City back. It's really, on true, soccer club, focusing in on Johnson City kids, Washington County kids, growing the gang back in, that area, in hopes of, obviously better in the game, but then also better in the, the athletic school teams as well, in the surrounding area, Johnson City and Washington County.
And so you're gearing up for the fall, and for folks, again, that want to get involved, we're talking about soccer, of course, and so there's room to grow for you as an organization, and room to add some youngsters to the program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, when we first formed, we fielded, 10 teams, and actually, which is phenomenal going into our second full year. We're busting at the seams. We're going to field 17 teams, Tom. And, of course, it keeps getting younger and younger every year. Now the little whippersnappers born in 2010, if you can believe that. That makes you feel old. They are eligible. They are eligible. And we do have some teams that, can still, pick up players, through the ages. We go all the way from 2010 to actually all the way up. We've got a, high school boys, under 18 team as well. Of course, this fall, the girls season, we do lose our high school girls team because, they're in session with their high school teams. But, we do have a middle school age group girls team as well because the Tennessee Middle School Secondary Athletic Association changed the rule, and you can now, play middle school soccer and club soccer at the same time. But anyway, in the fall, you lose your high school girls, but you gain your high school boys back, and then vice versa in the spring. But,
it's all good. Again, we're talking to our buddy, again, Michael Smeltz at Johnson City Football Club. So you're upgrading in facilities. Obviously, you got to keep growing, and you're doing that in the facilities. Tell us about that.
Well, one of, our goals, actually, I guess it started with a dream, and it's, turning into our goals. And hopefully, here in the near future, it will, come into existence, was having our own home, our own, place where we can train, do things, host our own games, through the week, on weekends. We had just unbelievable. I mean, I had an anonymous donation, come in. We actually got earlier this month, 4 full-size field turf, fields, which are in Johnson City. They're already here. They are full-size soccer fields. Of course, if you, cut it down for the smaller kids, age U12 and below, plays 9v9. So that 4 full-size fields actually makes 8 9v9 fields, and, can almost make right at 16, 7v7 fields for the little whippersnappers. So, I mean, just unbelievable. The thing is now we've got to have some flat places to put it.
The little whippersnappers. I love it. I haven't heard that in a long time. We're talking to Michael Smeltzer. So what is the objective? What is the goal? When you got this thing started, the Johnson City Football Club, what were you trying to accomplish, or what are you trying to accomplish?
The main thing is just growing the game back, grow it in Johnson City, growing the love, for the game back, growing the community feel back. And, we've been having these, we all go together as a club to one tournament, whether it be fall or spring, we end the season. And, Tom, it's incredible. You see all these kids and parents, just littered on the sidelines of these other people's games, hanging out, watching championship games, cheering on, their classmates, cheering on their friends in their neighborhood. And it's just brought back just an unbelievable community type, feel to the game where, all the kids are starting to know all the kids, the parents all, know each other, from the little ones all the way up, to the oldest ones. And it's just really a special thing that we brought back, to, the Johnson City area.
Absolutely. We're talking to Michael Smeltzer. So going forward on the calendar, of course, school starts in Johnson City this week, and so that kind of ties in with you and your fall program. So what's up next on the calendar for the Johnson City Football Club?
Well, some teams have already cranked it up, and have already started, training. Other teams will be, if they have not, they'll be cranking it up, tomorrow night at Civitan Park. Basically, we've got all the teams there, which is another luxury of what we wanted to do. We've got, whether you've got boys, and girls in your family, multiple kids in your family, all these kids practice on the same night. So it's just super convenient for families that have multiple kids that are running, all over the place. I mean, it's great for them, and the parents absolutely love it because they just all get there together and have parent powwows, and the moms take off running, the dads take off running, sit around and talk, and it's just great.
And that's the name of the game. And in closing, is there a website we can go to? And by the way, hello to Brian Scott. Brian's watching. Wanted to know when you were going to be on the show. So hello to Brian Scott out there watching. We appreciate that very much. Like us and share us, and folks have, and we appreciate that. Is there a website we can go to find out more?
Yeah, our website is, www.jcfc.soccer. Our director of coaching is Ron Kind, who can answer, all kinds of questions in regards to, teams, programs, practices, goals, philosophy, everything that we're looking at doing, and bringing back to Johnson City. His phone number is 423-773-7713. Again, 423-773-7713. Or they can call me themselves. And my cell is 423-367-0865. Again, 423-367-0865. I mean, just incredible things are happening in the game, right now in Johnson City. And, JCFC is just proud and glad that we're just a part of it.
You got it. Hey, great report, my friend. I'll have you back on real soon. Thanks again, as always. Keep up the good work. And, again, keep on promoting these young people in Johnson City. And it's not just Johnson City. It's all across the Tri-City. So keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Always a pleasure. Thanks for reaching out, Tom.
Yes, sir. Good man right there, buddy. Michael Smeltzer of the Johnson City Football Club, and we appreciate him being with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live here at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. Love coming here again. It's the official sunscreen of the Boston Red Sox starting next year, also the official sunscreen of the Chicago Cubs and the New York Yankees. And we've got our president and CEO and founder, Jeff Bedard, coming here to be with us in just a second, which is a personal treat for me. I love this guy. You talk about one of the nicest guys in the world. I mean, and I've always heard this. My dad used to tell me, the farther up the chain you go in an organization, the nicer the people are. And I thought, yeah, but they got more stress and more pressure. He said, I'm just telling you. And he was right. The farther up the feed chain you go in a company, 9 times out of 10, the nicer the people are. And Jeff Bedard is certainly living proof of that. So it's going to be a treat to have him on here coming up in just a second. Again, we are live here again at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. Again, the Crown Laboratories, as we're here broadcasting live for the second day. Tomorrow we're going to be at Chick-fil-A in the Crossings in North Johnson City. Full show there tomorrow. We've got Greg Salyer coming in to talk Major League Baseball, kind of the fallout of all the trades and the deadlines, and the trading deadline happened yesterday, and now kind of turned the corner and getting ready to head down somewhat of the home stretch of Major League Baseball and the playoffs and the wild card and the World Series wild card teams and the playoffs and so on and so forth. Right around the corner. We'll hear from Greg about that. Also, tomorrow we'll talk to Dave Angie, as we do every Wednesday, about what's going on in the Johnson City Press, and also co-hosting our show, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview, which starts again coming up on August the 17th, emanating from the Champion Chevrolet showroom on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile. And then we'll be there on Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. And then on Friday we'll be at Food City, on a Food City Friday on Eastman Road in Kingsport. Mark Hubbard's store. Got a big sale that comes out in the paper tomorrow. A big 4-day sale at all Food Cities, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I believe Sunday. I know for sure through Saturday, but maybe a 5-day sale. But we'll know about that tomorrow. It comes out in the weekly circular in your local newspaper. So a busy week. Of course, we're getting ready to gear up. Very pleased that we're going to be part of the Bristol Motor Speedway Breakfast at Bristol. We're going to be actually on the Bristol Motor Speedway Facebook page starting on Wednesday, 2 weeks from tomorrow. On the Bristol Motor Speedway Facebook page called Breakfast at Bristol. We'll be there for an hour each morning talking about what's going on that day, and of course race week at BMS, and then we'll stay right there and do our show also from Bristol Motor Speedway on that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday morning will also be the Breakfast at Bristol as well. So we're going to be busy in the next couple of weeks, but that's what it's all about. It's Bristol, baby. And again, tickets, as you heard Drew say, are going like hotcakes. And again, all the campgrounds on property at Bristol Motor Speedway are now officially, and have been for about 3 weeks, sold out on a waiting list. That would be the RVs, the pop-up campers, the tents. They're all sold out. So that is a really good sign. As we said, I saw a feature last night on CYB television that some of the NASCAR fans are already starting to come in here. Research shows, NASCAR will tell you, that more people come in the fall earlier and stay either earlier or longer after the race than any other track in NASCAR. A lot of folks come in here early, go to Dollywood, they go kayaking, they go mountain hiking or mountain biking or fly fishing, whatever they do, or just come in and hang out and enjoy the beautiful countryside. So research shows from NASCAR that more folks come to Bristol in the fall race, come earlier and stay longer. Some stay after the race to continue their vacation. So we're glad they're here. And so you're going to start seeing a lot of out-of-town tags coming in here, and so love on them because they're bringing money, and that helps our coffers for sure. So all that, it's a good thing. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're live again at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. We've told you about the face. We've told you about the sport. And when Jeff gets in here, I'll let him talk about the baby and the sensitive products they sell here again at Blue Lizard. Right after this, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 569, and they said it wouldn't last. We'll be right back right after you hear this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed. one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again for a few more minutes. Again, there's where you can go and enter those tickets to win. TomTaylorSports.com/contest, or enter to win the tickets, I should say. Again, winners will be announced next Friday. Got multiple winners. Again, the Food City 300 tickets to go see Dale Jr.'s final trip around Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, the Xfinity Series coming up again Friday night, August the 18th, which is 17 days out, this being the first day of August. And of course the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, we're down to 18 days for that particular race to unfold. And obviously 2 weeks from tomorrow we'll be there for the UNOH 200, the Bush's Beans 150. So pretty cool stuff. And again, it's very, very exciting. And again, you can go there and all you got to do is get your name, first name, last name, the town you're calling from, or not calling from, but you're registering from, and of course your email address. And again, multiple winners will be announced next Friday, August 11th. We're up the road at Food City in Piney Flat. So pretty cool. We want to say thanks to the Speedway. We gave over $800 away worth of tickets to the Spring Nationals Father's Day weekend. So a bunch of tickets being given away this time as well. As promised, here is NASCAR owner Joe Gibbs. Again, Coach Gibbs and the folks trying to get into that chase, obviously, with all four teams. And again, he has already qualified Kyle Busch, obviously, and Denny Hamlin by virtue of winning. Still needs Matt Kenseth and Daniel Suarez to get into the fray. So, question posed: 2 in the chase, 2 are not in the chase. Does that take the pressure off because 2 are in and 2 are not? 2's better than none. This is what Coach Gibbs had to say here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Well, I think it, with multiple cars, obviously right now our focus will be the 20 and the 19. Not that we're not going to go for it each and every week with the 18 and the 11, but I think our focus now, we'd like to get Matt in, and it'd be a long shot, obviously, with Daniel, but he's had 3 straight top 10s right now, and who knows, something could work out for him also. So our focus is just our entire organization, everybody doing the best they can to put the best cars we can out there each week and take our shot.
Final lap for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Bristol is special to me because I've been going there since I was a little kid. I remember watching races on top of old vans and stuff from the infield with my buddies, and wishing I was out there and wondering what it would be like to eventually race on the track one day.
There's a lot of things that change over time. One of the things that doesn't change is Bristol.
And here's Dale Earnhardt going by his son to take over the 8th position.
160,000 here in Bristol on their feet. Heavily partisan crowd at a place where his father had so much success. And tonight, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is here after winning the night race at Bristol.
Welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. It's billed as the last great Coliseum, and this place lives up to the hype.
The racing there is the standard for short track racing.
Look at Junior getting a great start.
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
Hell yeah! Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the Sharpie 500 at Bristol.
And this is one of the biggest wins in my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
This is the place. The place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. No, I'm not Jeff Bedard, but I'm going to get him on the screen because we got to get the big guy here and the godfather of Sunscreen, as they call it. Love to have him on here, and again, there he is, and I've been waiting on him. I know he is extremely busy, and I understand that. Every time I send him a text, he's traveling. Well, you have more glitches in airports than what you say. Every time I talk to him, he's like, I send him a text, what's going on? Stuck here, stuck there. So the man travels because he's out, again, beating the pavement to promote Blue Lizard. And so it's a fabulous product, obviously. And so he is the, as you see on the screen, the founder, the CEO, and it's going great guns. This is the time of year to be slathered on Blue Lizard, and you're hopping, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we started out kind of slow. We had a lot of rain early in the season, but too bad our kids here locally are off to school because I'd rather have them out playing golf and swimming all day and putting on a lot of Blue Lizard. But I guess I got to sacrifice education for the kids here in the local area. But no, it's been. Since we last spoke, we got our first look at Nielsen data, and demographics and Nielsen do a wonderful job. There's about 125,000 people in the U.S. that have a little scanner, like you go to the grocery store and they scan you. Well, when they go home, and every time they purchase whatever they purchase, they get paid to scan at their house the barcode on that, and that registers to Nielsen. So we have now reached a level of usage in the U.S. where we are actually being able to pool data about who our true users are. And interestingly enough, this year, 74% of the people that bought Blue Lizard bought it for the first time. So we've expanded beyond our core base with our marketing, and we can announce that Blue Lizard is officially, based on Nielsen data and IMS data, the fastest growing sunscreen brand in the U.S. 176% year over year, which is awesome.
It is awesome.
Which is awesome. So obviously the message is getting out. The product obviously speaks for itself, and people will buy it once, and if it doesn't work, they're not going to buy it again. But we're not running into that problem.
No. And we were talking last time I was here. I was at a local pool and I was watching somebody with aerosol, and at the angle I was at, they were spraying it, and it never even hit the kid. It just went off into the atmosphere. And so, folks argue, how come you don't have to come out with an aerosol? Well, when you have these products, obviously the face and the sensitive and the sport and the baby, that comes in, in a cream, or in case of the face, in a gel. You don't need aerosol, and this is proven to be more effective anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, look, if it doesn't go on the skin, it can't protect you, right?
Exactly.
So if it's flying off into the air, that atmosphere is not getting sunburned, but the skin is.
Yep. Let's talk about face. I know we talked about this before, because ladies can put it on their face and then put their makeup on over top of it. Guys can do it after they shave. They can apply it as well. So face is very, very popular.
It is, and it's also loaded with antioxidants. So every time you go out in the sun, it creates things called free radicals. It's a long story, but anyway, they do damage after you get out of the sun. So the product not only protects, but anything that stays on the sun that causes that aging or cancer, it sort of cannibalizes it, eats it up. And it's oil-free. It doesn't cause acne, so it's non-comedogenic, and no fragrance. So it's not going to conflict. You spray a little perfume on, cologne. It's not going to cause that fragrance issue either.
Since we were together again, we're talking to Jeff Bedard, the founder and CEO of Blue Lizard. We were, of course, at Crazy Eights a couple of weeks ago emceeing that event, and I saw two kids, and just broke my heart, because these two kids are in these strollers, and of course it was the middle of a Saturday afternoon, hotter than blue blazes. That's back when we were in the 90s, and they were beet red, and I thought, and in fact, I told one of them, I overstepped my bounds. I said, "Ma'am, why don't you get on the Max Medicine Mart and get Blue Lizard for this little girl?" And then, of course, she looked at me like, "Well, who are you?" And I knew I would overstep, but they were beet red, and I thought, man. And I keep thinking, what you told me, when you get burned as a kid, it'll come back and you'll pay for it later on. So the baby part for Blue Lizard is very, very important for our little people.
Yeah, well, and the great thing is the baby product is just the mineral based, so you have no issues on young, tender skin. It's going to be safe, and actually we can say that from 6 months up, they can wear it safely. So it's a great product for those young skins.
Oh, Jeff Bedard again. The the smart bottle technology. When the bottle changes color, it shows there's harmful UV sunlight out there. Did it again the other day just for kicks. I put it up on the dashboard. We were going over to Mass General Store in the mountains with the kids, and I said, let's just see. And it wasn't 2 minutes. It turns blue, and they're like, wow. I said, yeah, that's it. He doesn't lie. That's what really happens. So when it turns blue, that's our signal to put some on.
That absolutely is. So what happens is people ride in the car, and the greatest test is you throw it in the front seat with the windows up, and you see that bottle change. That means UVA light's coming through your glass and hitting your skin. So you're going to age. You're not going to burn, because glass on cars filter the UVB, the burning rays, but those A rays still go through.
So, in fact, we got folks watching. I got some friends watching down in Kiowa as we speak. They're down at the beach today. Wish we were there, but they're there and enjoying a big time. So, when you apply it, whether you're at the beach or at the lake, it says 80 minutes, but it goes longer than that, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the FDA sets a mandate or a max of 80 minutes, and that's based on the monograph or the rules for the FDA. But we test, remember, we're an Australian sunscreen. In Australia, that same mandate or that same regulation is 240 minutes. So we test for 240. We can only say 80 on the box, but it is 240 minutes.
Now, the laboratory, Crown Laboratories, the plant is here in Johnson City, and you literally, from this space where we're sitting, it goes all over the country and all over the world, right?
Right. So we're in half dozen other countries outside the U.S. That's going to be a focus for us on a growing basis go forward. But here in the U.S., nationwide distribution at Walmart, CVS drugstores, and then regionally, here locally, Ingles has it, Food City has it, Kroger's have it, so Walgreens even has it here locally. So locally, we're well distributed.
So Walmart has them all over the country. That's where I saw it up in West Virginia. I saw it at
Absolutely.
Walmart. So I guess this was your baby way back in the beginning. Can you take just a few minutes and tell us how Jeff Bedard, you told me the story one time sitting up in your office, which I thought was phenomenal, and I know you're crunched for time, but it's almost like the Norman Rockwell Slice Americana success story. And your dad told you have two options, and you went with the right option. So you have time just to give us the Reader's Digest version?
Yeah, well, it really started back when I was in preschool, and my grandfather. I had a real desire to have a red wagon, those red wagons that you could get up on the hill. And I grew up in Iowa, and boy, I wanted that red wagon. And my grandfather, he was an entrepreneur, and he had his hand in many things, but he grew some sweet corn out on the farm, and we went out and picked it in true bushel baskets, threw it in the back of a pickup truck, and then he bought me that red wagon and said, once you sell so many ears of sweet corn, you can have that red wagon. So I spent the summer between my 4-year-old and 5-year-old. So I was 4 years old, and I was going door to door selling sweet corn. It was $1 for 13 years because I always did the baker's dozen, and that really got me involved with entrepreneurship and selling. And then I was blessed to be able to play high school and college basketball, and had a chance to go over in Europe post-graduation to play in Norway, or get my first pharmaceutical sales job in Phoenix, Arizona. The pay was about double over in Norway versus the pharma job, if you can believe that. And certainly, being able to be over in Europe would have been a great opportunity. But my dad sat me down and said, "What's your future look like? This is a short-term, lot of fun. This is a long-term career. Unless you're going to go be a Division I powerhouse coach someday and really make money, I think you know the decision to make." And I did that, and 34 years later, I'm still in the pharma industry. So I guess he gave me some pretty good advice.
Great advice. So, last question, what gets you out of bed, gets your feet on the floor every day representing Blue Lizard? What flips your trigger?
Well, look, it's the 200 employees, or I guess I should say 199 since I count as one. So, you know what? To see those folks come in here and be so passionate about everything they do, from our janitors to the people that mix the product to fill the product, the people that do the paperwork, the people that are in our accounting department, sales, these people are family. And what we do every day really translates into a great product. And then on top of that, to see the reaction of the people that actually use it, to see the kids that can go outside, maybe they have vitiligo or some disease that doesn't let them do the things that other normal kids get to do outside, or a skin cancer survivor, or just a mom trying to protect her family the best she can. All those things are great motivation.
Yeah, love it. And I'll say, since I've been here the last 2 days, Raven and Tina and Shelby and Libby, good peeps, and Neil, the IT guy, and of course Jeff. So yeah, it is a family, and they all bend over backwards to help you, and so pretty cool. It's good stuff, and I love promoting this, and I could be your PR guy for Blue Lizard because
well, you are. We're all salespeople. That's what I tell. My regulatory person. We were just in a meeting last week, and she said every store I go to, I go in and dust off the shelf and straighten the bottles. And I said, well, we're all salespeople. That's
Absolutely.
What we should do, everybody.
Absolutely. Good job. How's the man getting ready for Cornell football?
He is. Well, I'm excited. They opened the season with Delaware, which is a huge test in Division I AA. That's a premier program. He opens camp August 14th. Ivy League starts late, so he doesn't play his first game until the second or third weekend in September. So it's a late start. But I'm excited. He's going to get a lot more time on the field this year, so looking forward to that.
What about the little man? Is he playing sports?
He is. He just wrapped up his travel baseball time and off to look at basketball. He hasn't jumped into the football arena this year yet.
That's Jake.
Jake.
Jake, I called him Jake the Snake, and he didn't know what I was talking about until we had talked to him about Jake the Snake, and then Kenny the Snake Stabler. But yeah, Jake the Snake, and he's gonna be as good as his big brother.
I think he's got the opportunity. Look, the one thing I'll say about Justin, and it's not because he's my kid, but I've never seen anyone work harder. Both in the gym, in the weight room, perfecting his craft. That kid worked 24/7 on it, and that's what it takes to be successful. I mean, period. No matter what you choose to do, you got to have a passion for it, and you got to be willing to work.
Get out of what you put into it, right?
It is.
And Dad used to tell me, he said, "Boy, success has no convenience. You got to do it when you got to do it. If it takes 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, or if you got to be up half the night, whatever it takes, success has no conveniance.
That's
you
right.
Got to do it. So
that's right.
I know you're busy.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me be a part of the team.
Absolutely.
I love
to have you.
Oh, I love promoting the great product Blue Lizard. Quick break. We'll come right back and close this thing out. Again, don't forget, right there's when you get those race tickets. We're up to 7 states being represented, and so go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. We'll come back and wrap it up right after this. As we go to the break, here is the little 30-second spot of my man coming to town selling tickets like hotcakes. Here's Dale Jr. at Bristol Motor Speedway.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
The most popular track on the circuit
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
says goodbye to NASCAR's most popular driver.
Hell yeah!
The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race, August 19th. Your last chance to see Junior run the night race.
Man, this is one of the biggest wins of my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
This is the place. The place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old US of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year. The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old US of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year. The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old US of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, 11,000.
And we're back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. We had a chance to visit with Jeff a little bit, and so we're very excited about what we just talked about. And so we're going to, let's hit this right here. We're going to go ahead and sign this puppy off and get ready to head off to Chick-fil-A tomorrow. And so we do want to say thanks to our guest who checked in with us, Colin Brooks from the NET Pigskin. Again, that's coming up again August the 4th. 36-team magazine with 190 pages coming out August the 4th, this coming Friday. We also heard from Drew Bedard again from Bristol Motor Speedway, the Senior Director of Brand Management. Also Michael Smeltzer of the Johnson City Football Club. Also, of course, you just saw the founder and CEO of this great company, Jeff Bedard. We also heard from Brad Kozlowski, Casey Kane, and Joe Gibbs from the NASCAR family. So we are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Please consider, again, as we wrap this thing up, to stop by your local Food City through midnight tonight and shop again. And again, add $1 or $3 or $5 to the end of your shopping experience and help out the Paralyzed Veterans of America. You talking about some folks that deserve our TLC. They fought for our country. They got injured serving our country. Most of these folks are dealing with spinal injuries, which obviously have changed their life forever. And so if you can give, please consider. It's $1, $3, or $5. It ends tonight, midnight, when they close the stores at Food City for the evening. So please consider giving to the Paralyzed Veterans of America, and we'll thank you ahead of time for that because, again, as we've been saying for a month, 134 stores across 4 states just today. If everybody went in and shopped at Food City just today, added $1 to the shopping experience. Obviously, we'd like to have 3 or 5, but $1. Imagine the impact it's going to help our veterans who are, again, the Paralyzed Veterans of America. So good stuff. And we appreciate Food City being with us about that very, very much and the chance to promote that. Thanks to Blue Lizard again. We will be back in here next month, and we will pack this puppy up and head to Chick-fil-A tomorrow, Thursday, Champion Chevrolet, and then on Friday we'll be at Food City on Eastman Road in Kingsport. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Do want to say thanks to Raven and Tina and Shelly, and also Libby. And, of course, Jeff, the folks here, and Neil been very kind to get us where we needed to be to get on the show and get rolling. So thanks to those ladies and that gent. And so we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours, and we'll pick back up tomorrow, show number 570. How about that? And we'll be with you tomorrow. Until then, we always tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. So long from Blue Lizard, Australian Sunscreen, and Crown Laboratories in South Johnson City here on the 569th edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.